What's up, guys? Nick Venuto here. What I'm going to be teaching you about today is really what kind of results you can expect from your fitness training. How quickly can you expect to be making gains and what kind of gains? And it's going to kind of go into, too, I think the crux to what you want to know is, how come some people seem to make crazy results really fast and others don't? I'm going to get into that as well. Okay. Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed already. For those of you subscribed, thanks so much. You can also follow my Instagram at Nick Venuto Fitness. Let's get right in. All right, guys. So the short answer is, with in terms of why do some people seem to just get crazy results, or crazy results quicker, or just results quicker, and others don't. Everyone's just different, and everyone, in terms of what their potential is and such, is different as well. Is the bottom line of it. And you don't see the full picture when you see something like in terms of a transformation pic, or whatever that you see on Instagram or online with the kind of transformation pics you see. You don't see the full picture of what they were doing before, and then or at the start and before that transformation, at the beginning of it, and then what were they doing during that time and stuff, and just everyone has different aptitude and stuff, but you're not seeing the full picture of maybe they were really, really slacking off and doing things they shouldn't have been doing before. There's just a lot of factors that go in with how people will progress, right? And also, obviously, sometimes too, you don't know if stuff's being portrayed accurately with what really happened, whether it be the time frames or just with the things that you can do with camera and lighting and just little subtle things you can try to do just to try to get as good of a look as possible. Um, so those are the kind of things that I would say. And then obviously too, for people that are further off from where they should be with fitness, it could be someone who's really, really, really skinny, who needs to just be getting bulked up with muscle and such. It could be someone who's really, really, really overweight, and they really need to lose a lot of weight to get to a healthy body weight. These kinds of individuals are the folks that have the most potential to make really significant improvements quicker versus someone, let's say they want to gain muscle, but someone's maybe just kind of a more regular body weight. Maybe they're kind of a little bit on the skinny fat side, and they just, they don't have the potential typically for as extreme of a change as someone who is really, really skinny who needs to gain muscle. Or let's say someone's like just kind of a little bit overweight. Maybe they're like a couple inches. They got to take maybe a couple inches off their waistline, but they're not like, they don't look horrible. They're not like morbidly obese. That individual has less potential to make really quick changes and total changes versus someone who's like very overweight, right? A lot of this comes down to that with these kinds of body improvements you see. Um, and then just to give you insights with body physiology science, um, with muscle gain, the body physiologically can gain between zero point 0.5 and a pound of muscle per week. Okay, fat loss wise, but the body with this is in terms of body physiology science, the body can lose between 1 to 2 pounds of fat per week. But here's the deal with both of those figures. That's like a short term type of figure, and that's when they just do body physiology science. This is what they've determined, which whether it's accurate or not, or whether there's possibilities that some people are just going to be different what they can gain or lose. This is what this is just something you can Google. But this kind of progress doesn't get sustained for a long period of time. I mean, if you are gaining zero point 0.5 to 1 pound of muscle per week, there's what is there, 52 weeks in a year, whatever that number is, 50 plus, 52, I think. You're looking at, even if you gain 20 pounds of muscle in a year, that doesn't happen, or very rarely, and would only be for someone that's like a very big time beginner. Fat loss, because we have some individuals that get really, really overweight. You do see some crazier fat loss transformations with people losing multiple hundreds of pounds, even with the people like you see on the reality shows. Even someone, if they get to 50 pounds overweight, you do see some things with people dropping that weight in a quicker time frame. So, but even with fat loss, it's then the closer you get to your ideal body weight, the slower that process can take. And it's harder to be gaining proper lean muscle than losing fat, right? But still, especially with the muscle gain, but both of those figures, those are not amounts that you go and you see happening for long periods of time. I mean, boy, if you could gain 0.5 to 1 pound of muscle per week for your lifting career. It's just not going to work like that. How many people would you be seeing, let alone 200 pounds versus 300 pounds? So, and it has to do with, obviously, as you gain muscle or as you lose fat, it's not just as static as that with just fat versus muscle on your body. There's hormones involved and stuff, and just your general body's health. So it's just not, things, conditions with which how you gain muscle and lose fat and just gain weight, that those conditions, which are really the hormones and just stuff that goes on inside your body, those change as your weight changes. So that kind of what body physiology says with the zero point 0.5 to 1 pound of muscle gain per week, or the 1 to 2 pounds of fat loss per week, those things are what physiology tells us, but it's obviously probably based on certain given circumstances. And as your body changes, those kinds of things going on in your body with your hormones, with everything else, those conditions change. Okay, so and that's again why it comes down to. I mean, some people lose a lot quicker than that when they're really overweight and stuff. You see some of the things, how quickly people will lose weight and when they have tons to lose, because there's this stuff that's really screwed up with them to begin with their hormones and stuff. Okay, and it's a little different with gaining weight, with gaining muscle specifically with someone who's skinny. But I mean, I had a client that gained like 10 or 15 pounds plus in a couple months, and a lot of it was solid. It wasn't all muscle though. A lot of it was just fluid and glycogen in the muscles, and some fat gain too, I'm sure. But so we don't have all the answers with how things can happen in the body physiology science. Most of science is theory. So the kind of takeaways I can give you is this with what to be expecting with results. It's different for everyone, but the further you are from where you want to be, and this is in terms of like the further you are from a healthy norm, i.e. you're just way too skinny, or i.e. you're just way too overweight, those are the camps that, other things equal, have a greater potential to be making quicker progress and total overall more progress versus someone that's closer to the kind of baseline where they want to be. Okay, that's one insight I can give you. Then it just has to do with people's genetics, people's aptitudes to learn the things they need to learn, with the workout side, with just being able to gain strength, being able to gain muscle, with being able just to have an aptitude to figure how to be eating properly and following the proper nutrition. And obviously this work ethic related too. If they put the work and they do the work, they're consistent. All that as well. But there's just a lot that goes into it to really to see that. Um, there's a lot that goes into it, so it's hard to give you really crazy insights, crazy realistic insights. But I can give you, but I try to be transparent with people and really tell them how it is, and not just take the client that gained 10 or 15 pounds and market it that, yeah, work with me, you're going to gain 10 to 15 pounds of mostly solid mass in a few months. I don't market it that way because that's not a typical result. Even my client who's in her 60s, who's gained like about 15 pounds of muscle, and it's been in some time between 8 to 10 months. I think it's been now, maybe 8 to 9 months. I don't know, whatever it's been. That's a pretty crazy result too, and that's not something I would market to someone who's older. Like, yeah, if this is like the kind of thing you can expect. Like this was something, someone that had you know, just based on their starting point and based on their work ethic that they were able to achieve. I don't consider it a crazy typical result. Consider it more, this was a pretty good result for someone. And so guys, that's to give you insights. If if you're looking to make an improvement with yourself, or you're looking to make a crazy change, you really need to improve yourself a lot, or maybe you're not even that far off from where you want to be. I'm dropping my Calendly below if you want to consider working with me. And it's definitely a lot easier for me on a one-on-one basis after just kind of knowing what you're currently doing, where you're currently at, and stuff. Sometimes I can definitely give better insights on an individual basis, what kind of result you may be able to expect and stuff. Because it really is a lot that goes into it with all the different factors that go into it. Okay. Hopefully this gives you some insights though. Either way, whether you want to consider working with me or not. Hopefully this gives you all some insights with the kind of results that you can expect, and just always take things with a grain of salt in terms of what you see um, online with some of the body transformations. There have been scandals that have come out with things that just when time frames weren't what they said, And it's there's a lot of things you can't totally fake it, right, with lighting, with the picture angles and stuff, but there's some things you can do just to make things look about as good as they can be. So keep those things in mind as well, guys. And so hopefully this gave you some insights. It's fortunately I can't give you too much of more specific insights because it's really it's hard to it's hard to do because I don't we don't have us coaches, even we don't have a crystal ball to really see what people can get, what people can do and change, and it's really a lot of variables to go into it. I hope this gives you some insights, guys. Hey, thanks for so much for watching. For those of you subscribed, thank you very much for being subscribed, and please subscribe if you're not already. Again, if you're interested to work with me and or even if you just want to connect with me on Instagram at Nick Venuto Fitness. I help people out a bit, and I can answer little questions on there if there's something just to help point you in the right direction a bit. But count on these below if you want to explore working with me and work with someone that's going to give you a realistic expectation of what you can do and help you achieve it in a sustainable, helpful type of way where you make improvements from what you're doing, but you're not becoming a machine. You're not getting married to the gym, and you're still eating the way you want. If that's someone you want to work with in terms of how I do things that way, count on these below. Again, please subscribe. Thank you for those who are, and take care and God bless you.